Good evening, everyone. Call to order for the E911. That's bald heads for implications. Oh, gracious Father, thank you for this day that you have given us, oh Lord. Oh Lord, we pray and keep our children and our first responders in first mind, oh Lord. We thank you for having us tonight, oh Lord. Let us lead us and guide us in this meeting, oh Father God. Cover all our parishes and every neighboring parish. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Follow me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any additions and deletions to the E911 board?
Mr. President, request that you, item number 1 that we pass to the next meeting. We decided we want to add some wording to that, just to reference the original
Yes, sir.
statute there. Be a little more specific in our wording, and we'll bring it next meeting.
Okay. So we'll defer number 1 to next meeting. Any roll call vote, Mr. Baker? Defer this to Mr. Parker. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All in favor is aye, so we will defer number 1 to next meeting in September. Any guests and public comments? Old business? None. New business? Approve the July 15th, 2024 minutes.
Move.
Got a motion by Mr. Parker.
Second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion? There's no discussion, please vote. Motion passes. Item number 3, authorize payment of approved bills and accept the financial statement as of July 31st, 2024 and year-to-date budget to actual report prepared by Dees and Gardner, CPA.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Jones,
Second.
second by Mrs. Simpson. Any discussion on this matter? If not, please vote. Motion passes. We'll adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn for the 911?
Motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Parker. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We adjourn from the 911. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Daniels. Okay, we got a public hearing, call to order. We're gonna run right down to the guests and public comments on the public meeting. Are there any guests and public comments, on regard to intend to abandon Azalea Road? If no public comments, going once, going twice. Do I have a motion to adjourn from the public meeting?
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Parker, second by Mr. Raines. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
A motion to adjourn
So move.
from the public meeting. Got a mover by Mr. Parker. Who second?
We already did that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We adjourn from the public meeting, public hearing, the regular meeting. Okay, we have, we're gonna skip down to the presentation of awards. We have the 4-H national champions, in here. Would you please stand, Mrs. Burnley, Smith, Houston, Berry. I'm gonna present this award for y'all amazing guys, and girls. DeSoto Parish, 4-H, recognition of the 2024 4-H National Championship shooting. Please come forward and receive. drinks. Make sure you grab some. And you could do so now if you like, if you want.
Or you can stay, I think so.
We had a few more, if we could take a few.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We just wanted to recognize, not only our national, but also our regional and state champions.
Go right ahead.
Their awards did come in, would that be okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I
me.
apologize for
Oh,
that.
Oh, that's okay, that's okay. So we're pretty excited about this. So first I'd like to recognize our regional champions. The first one is Callan Hotsclaw. She is our regional air pistol basic champion.
Help hand these out.
Oh, okay, yay, thank you.
I'm with Marketplace.
Yeah.
We're very proud to sponsor the 4-H club and these buckles to all these outstanding students. Sam, you want to snap some pictures? Congratulations.
Next one is regional muzzleloader champion is Eli Smith. Regional air rifle 3P champion Addison Burnley. Regional modified FIDA archery champion Weston Walsh. And our last regional champion is Harrison Howe, regional archery 3D champion. These are our state champions. State champion air pistol basic is again Callan Hotsclaw. State Air Rifle 3P champion, Addison Burnley. Oh, that might be the wrong one.
Have to take it back from her?
Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. State Rifle Small Bore CMP champion, Skylar Phillips. And State Archery 3D champion, Weston Walsh. And then we did have one overall state champion, and that is Addison Burnley.
Shiny.
And then our national qualifiers that came back national champions from DeSoto, they are also receiving a buckle, but they are not in yet. So national qualifier, Jacob Berry. Emma Houston. Addison Burnley. Everybody knows where they can get a buckle case. She's gonna need one. And Eli Smith. for recognizing
Yes, ma'am.
their commitment to their craft and their dedication, and thank you so much.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And again, don't forget refreshments in the back for y'all.
Yeah, the 4-Hers, y'all, family and everybody in 4-H can go to the kitchen right now if you want. So you
Look at the whole audience, eh? We're gonna lose everybody.
unless they want to stay around.
I'm trying to get us out of the room for y'all get any big votes or anything.
Hey, I wanna get everybody's names, so when I get in trouble, I wanna get y'all some calls.
Thank you, man.
Southland.
Congratulations.
Thanks for having us, appreciate it.
Thank you.
How you been?
Okay, we're gonna move right along. We're down to our announcements. There's none, any call for additions and deletions to the agenda. I have one, ordinance number 14. Adopt the ordinance 1 of 2024 of abandonment of Azalea Road off of Highway 175, 1. So I want to delete that off the agenda, please. Could I have a roll call vote, Mr. Fuller?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Ayes have it. So that item will be deleted from the agenda. Okay, any guests and public comments for the regular meeting? There's none. President report, none. Council report?
I have a brief report. It concerns Clear Lake. I wanted to advise the jury that I was asked to look into the status of Bayou Pierre State Game Commission and Fish Preserve, which was the governing body over Clear Lake for many years. It was formed in about 1934. The state in 1977 placed it and numerous other commissions and preserves into the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, but it still exists in name, and you still do the appointments, but the obligations of the commission were assumed by the state, by the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. It's a strange structure, so I don't have any answers for how or why this was done. But my concern, and that I just wanted to express to you, was that based on that placement of it within the State Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, is my opinion that any ownership to that lake would have gone or transferred to the state as well. So that doesn't mean that you're prohibited from deciding this within the DeSoto Parish interest to move forward with any type of improvements on that lake. But I did feel like I needed to advise you that based on current information that we have, I believe that is placed in Louisiana State.
Thank you, Council. Administrative report?
Thank you, Mr. President. Item 1, the debris removal update. As of Saturday, August 17th, the debris removal contractor has picked up approximately 27,000 cubic yards of debris. This has been hauled to our landfill, where it has been burned in the Mundy landfill burn pit. I requested an additional 5 days from GOSEP to complete the parish-wide cleanup. They gave us the extension, which concludes this Thursday, August 22nd. After that, the contractor will be turning his focus on select number of stumps that were located within the jury's right-of-way. We have an estimated 200-plus stumps that have been identified in the right-of-ways that will need to be removed. Item 2, Old Jail parking lot. As you all know, the old parking lot has been completed and open to the public. We will be installing some lighting around the perimeter of the parking lot within the next month or so, and doing some very minor landscaping. Item 3, the DCFS/Registrar's building. The concrete parking lot drainage improvement to that office has been completed. The striping remains and is scheduled to be completed by the end of this month. Item 4, the Stanley Community Center ADA update. As you all recall, the Stanley Community Center is one of the polling locations that was identified as needing some ADA compliant upgrades. The concrete work has been completed, and the striping and some very minor drainage work and cleanup work is scheduled to be completed by the end of this month. Item 5, the camera updates. Upgrades to the cameras began last week and will be finished by the end of this month. Additional cameras are being added at the landfill, the road department, OCS, the animal shelter, and the ball field. Item 6, the fiber installation upgrades. Fiber has been run to the landfill and the ball fields. The fiber lines have been dug and will extend to the road department and animal shelter. These improvements are all part of bringing the jury and all its main facilities that do not have fiber internet access up to date. Item 7, the airport and industrial properties for sale. At the request of a couple of the jurors, please find attached behind your copy of the administrator's report a copy of the land the jury currently owns at the industrial park. There are 2 sections: commercial property industrial park west, which runs the perimeter of West Industrial Park, and commercial property industrial park east, which includes properties on Constitution, Liberty, 76th Street, and Sprocket Lane. If you look at that, you'll see even the properties that are available for sale, as well as a picture of the current tracks that are out there in east and west. So that answers the question of what we have available and what is for sale out there and what we have. Item 8, 4-H building roof project. The contractor is set to begin work on the roof project this week or next week at the latest. The main holdup on this has been due to the delays with the manufacturing of the material. Item 9, the courthouse renovations. We had a paint restoration project in the budget for the interior and exterior of the courthouse, which has now been completed. This focus was on the main courtroom on the top floor. The stairwell is a small section of the stairwell in the basement and the entire exterior of the courthouse. Item 10, the litter abatement update. The sheriff and the inmate litter crew for the months of May through July have picked up approximately 148.3 miles of roads and over 1,400 bags of garbage in that time. Item 11, budget items for the giveaway programs. As I mentioned in my June administrator's report, if you will, please communicate with all the organizations who will be asking for assistance from the jury for next year events to begin sending us those requests and required documentation by the end of September. That is the deadline to get it in the budget for consideration. Many times this office receives a request for the assistance, but the necessary documentation does not make it to us in time for budget presentation. This will allow this office adequate time to vet the requests, make sure the organization and the request meets the requirements necessary to qualify for assistance. This request includes, but are not limited to, good standing with the Secretary of State's office, a detail of what the money will be used for, detail on any prior year's expenditures, and the receipts that must follow those expenditures. And that request meets the public test typically referred to in legal circles as the Cabela's test. Item 7, the boards. It was requested that I provide y'all with an update on all open seats on all the boards that y'all appointed. And after tonight's appointments, y'all are appointing 2 different boards tonight. You will have 1 open seat, which is going to be on the Bayou Pier Game Commission. And that's my report.
Thank you, Michael. Any questions for Michael?
On the debris removal, the extension, does that open up all zones or just the southern part, since that was the last area they went to?
It would be for all zones if they missed anything, but
What was that date?
August 22nd, this Thursday. That's the last day. So if there's any areas that y'all know of, anybody we need to send them out, please let me know, because I'm able to coordinate with them pretty immediately and get them out there pretty quick.
Mr. Norton, do you have a chance to send them out to the resident that I recommended?
Yes, I believe they did. That was the person that was in Mansfield, correct?
Correct.
Yes, sir. They were supposed to go out, but if they have not, let me know, and I'll make sure they get there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions? Okay, lobbyist report, is Chance, yeah. Good evening, Mr. Chance.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the jury. Good to see you all this month. Excuse me. So just a few things I wanted to highlight for y'all. Every time I'm here, we talk about, money and what has been achieved and getting from the state and how we can try to get more. Just a quick recap. Last year, there was the 1.6 million that Milligan helped get, and then 8 million, that Senator Presley helped get this past year. And as I've mentioned, you have to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the state in order to obtain those dollars. At no fault of the jury or the jury staff or anybody at the jury, the state did not understand that on some level they didn't understand that this was a list of road projects that each have independent utility, and so you can fund one without committing to fund the whole bucket, right? So if you have a $50 million or whatever the total is, 40-something $million worth of road projects, if you give us $1.5 million or 10 million or 12 million, we could take and spend that money, build roads that can be used without obligating the state to give us the rest. So the reason that it functions that way is because they look at everything through the lens of building a building, right? So if they give you a portion of building a building, they're like, well, we're going to have to give you the rest one day. And so just that's some government minutia. That's why the 1.6 y'all haven't obtained it yet from previous year. I do have good news, actually, and I talked to Mr. Reister, and actually got a call from the state earlier today. All of the paperwork has been submitted. The state now understands that that you don't, just because they give you the money that's been appropriated, they don't have to necessarily give you the extra money long term. And so as of today, they've told us that they're going to release those dollars to y'all. So that should be the full, 9.6 million over the next couple months. Y'all should actually be able to have that in your hand and spend the money. We do need y'all to spend the money because then that helps us to go ask for more.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah. So that's my most substantive update, is that we did receive notice today that all of that is in order. Everybody we're all on the same page with the state, and so those dollars are going to actually be released. The other two items, just to put before you, and this is big picture, not unique to DeSoto Parish. They're projecting a deficit next year somewhere around $500 million on the state level, and that is due in large part to a temporary sales tax rolling off the books. So to stabilize the budget back in the Edwards era, the beginning of the John Bell era, they passed a 0.45 sales tax to basically prop up the state budget, and it falls off the books at the end, I guess, next July 1st. And so between now and July 1st, there's going to be a lot of discussion about what to do about that. Some folks are going to want to renew it altogether, and if you just renew it, then we don't have a money problem. Then you're talking about some people want to repeal it and cut stuff, and some want to swap it with something else and repeal the state income tax. There's going to be a lot of discussion about tax reform, and the only reason I bring that up to y'all is that these past 2 years, the money that you've gotten for your roads have been due to surplus dollars created by that sales tax. And so if that falls off, it is unequivocally going to be harder to go and get money for the parish. And so, but y'all are not unique in that. Every legislator feels that pressure. So I just want to highlight to you, it's gonna be in the news a lot over the course of the next year. What are we gonna do about this hole? And so that's an issue that will certainly affect the ability of the state government to invest in local governments. And then also, there's been much discussion of a constitutional convention, and I feel very comfortable saying that will definitely not happen this year, as it had been talked about in the past. And some of that was actually geared towards creating flexibility in the budget, because when there is a deficit right now, the only places that the legislature can cut generally is healthcare and higher education. And so if they, if you opened up the Constitution and created flexibility, then when deficits come, you could spread that out to other places. So that's one of the reasons why there's a move to try to do that. But it does not appear that will occur before the deficit comes. I do think during the course of this governor's term that it will occur, but it's not going to occur this fall. And of course, all these have implications for the budget. If and when the Constitutional Convention does occur, that is the perfect time to fix the severance tax problem, because that is in the Constitution, right, where we are capped. We get to 20%, but not more than this amount of money. And so if the Constitutional Convention occurs at any point, that needs to be a major priority for the jury. So that's all I have for today. I'm happy to take any questions.
On the money that we're receiving, you said the 9.6 million within the next couple of months that we'll be able to receive. Do you mean that we can get it without having to put up our 25% match?
No, sir. You have to put up your match.
So we got about 2.3 million in match money we need to show to receive that 9.6.
So in order for you to, the cooperative endeavor agreement that either the staff here has already gotten a copy or they will soon, it's going to lay out the parish's obligations, and y'all are going to have, and part of that is going to be your local match, and y'all are going to have to sign off that you're going to do that.
Okay.
Right.
And the other 25 million in P5, how long before we possibly could receive that?
So right now, we're fighting for it every year, right? So last year we fought and we got 1.6. This year we fought, we got 8. Next year we're gonna fight,
Okay.
and I can't tell you what we're gonna
Okay,
do.
so the 9.6 is
Yeah.
out of the 25 million. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that there's an additional 25 or more million. I don't remember do you remember the total capital outlay request? It was
last
like
one,
40.
49 million, I believe, 48, 49 million.
Well, we adjusted it up. The first year, well, there's inflation and different things. So every year it may go up a little bit, the top line request. But I think right now we still have 30-something million that we seek to achieve. And the longer it takes to get it, the more it will cost.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions? Not, thank you, Mr.
All right.
Neely.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Are we down to our treasury financial report?
Good evening.
Good evening.
First, let me just apologize on submitting this to y'all late with the new software update. I was trying to format 2 separate reports to get you the information that you normally see on those reports. So hopefully we're, going forward, all that is in a good spot and we won't have any late submittals. The general fund for the month of July, we received up to date 6.6 million in revenues, while the expenses are at 5.2 million. We did receive the fire insurance rebate in the amount of 179,110, and that has been distributed to all the fire districts based on their allocations. You can see on the election section of it that we're over budget about 97% already. That is due to the election expense. We had budgeted 50,000 based on primary elections in previous years, but we received the April election, and that was a $68,000 invoice. So I will be coming back to you for a budget amendment because we're over budget by 31,000, and we still have the fall elections that I'm not sure how much that's gonna be. But the overall fund overall for the general is at 42% for total expenditures. On the road fund, we have received 10.6 million in revenues. We continue to see a decrease in the sales tax revenue, now approximately 13% below projections. This month, we received $44,000 for reimbursement from Act 170, which was the money from the road scales. We are still waiting on some money from our FEMA projects for roughly about $600,000, so we should see that coming by the end of the year. Public Works expenditures are below projections by 6%, while the capital outlay is at 9%. Overall, the fund is at 29% for total expenditures. Witness and jurors, revenues are at 62% and expenditures at 25%. The jail fund, we have received $846 collected in sales tax and interest earnings, a decrease, as stated before, 13% below the projected amounts. The operational expenses are at 49%, while the capital outlay is at 55%. Correctional facility, no activity. Solid waste, we have received 10.6 million in revenues. As mentioned earlier, it's 13% less the expected in sales tax collection. Tipping fees are at 56%. Landfill operations expenses are at 60%. A little higher, but that is the waste treatment, the dirty water solution that we're spending a little more money on that. Compactor sites, the operation expense is at 53%. Criminal Court Fund, we have received $403,972 in revenues, and we have paid out $328,670 in expenses. A net change on that fund of $75,212. The Office of Community Service, their program year is from July to June, and this July they received an additional funding source from the bipartisan infrastructure law. You will see a separate section on your financials on that for $569,565. This will be up to 3 years that they'll have that funding. It's about 1.7 that we'll start seeing. So what I did, I just divided that over the 3 years. The revenues are at 38%. That is due to us lagging on reimbursements from the month of June and July. We just received the month of June last week. We have not submitted July because they're still trying to close the project years. Also, the salary adjustments for July have not been distributed to all the programs within the OCS. That will be done this month. Expenditures for the fund are at 42%. Airport fund revenues are at 45%, while expenses are at 51%. Rental assistance revenues at 60%, while expenses are at 59%. East Sewer Fund, we have spent $24,886. Animal Services, an increase in revenue in the amount of $4,300 for the month. The expenses are at 56 for operation, and the overall fund expenditures are at 64. Sinking fund, we had interest up to date of $29,721. And then you will see and notice a new fund, which is our self-insured reserve fund at the end of the financials. This was created as of July 1st to pay our group health plan. We collected from employees and employer contributions $148,575. And then our July bill was for $56,065, and mostly all of that is administration. We will not start seeing probably any claims until probably around September. We paid, we actually received an invoice for July, and there was no claims on that one either. So you see a fund balance of about $92,000. Does anybody have questions?
No questions. Thank you, Ms. Lilly.
Motion to accept the financial report.
Okay, we got a motion, Mr. Baker, to accept the financial report, and a second by Mr. Raines. Any discussions on accepting the financial report? There's no discussion on the financial report. Would you please vote? Motion passes. Old business, discuss and take actions on renting out.
Minutes. Approve the minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Approval, I'm sorry. We're down to approval of the minutes. Approve the July 15th, 2024 regular meeting, August 5th, 2024 administrative, road, solid waste, budget, and finance and special meeting.
So move with any necessary correction.
Got a motion made by Mr. Fuller,
Second.
second by Mrs. Boyd Simpson. Any discussions on the minutes of approval? If there's no discussion, would you please vote? Motion passes. Old business. Discuss and take action on renting out the Dave Means 4-H building. The floor is open. Anyone?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that the DeSoto Parish Police Jury immediately discontinue the rental of the Dave Means 4-H building as an event center, and that the Dave Means 4-H building be used for 4-H and agriculture-sponsored events in conjunction with the DeSoto Parish Extension Service only. All DeSoto Parish Police Jury policies concerning no alcohol on the premises, no smoking inside, any part of the building shall be strictly enforced. I'd also like to add for school events also. For 4-H agriculture-sponsored events, also school events.
It's a lot to type, huh?
Yeah.
You want to bring the
I
letter
gotta
out?
discontinue the use of 4-H. Thank you.
Of course, we haven't got a second on that yet, so.
I'll second it.
We got a motion, we got a second on discontinuing the renting of the 4-H building. I got an alternate motion. Just not rent the outdoor part of it. No outdoor events. And saying that why the problem we only had occurred is the outdoor events. So I feel like that just discontinue the outdoor events, and everyone that usually every year, the inside events, we have no problem out of. But of course, I don't have a second on that.
I'll give you a second.
Okay. I have a motion, alternate motion on the floor. Rodriguez is seconded by Mrs. Simpson. And we are discussing.
Yes, sir. The 4-H building is paid by the taxpayer. Every dime invested into that 4-H building is paid by the taxpayers of DeSoto Parish. To me, it is very unfair to ask the taxpayers to take care of a business, invest their money into it, and tell them they can't use it. I have a problem with that. As you know, I'm always down with the people. And that's not being fair to the, so that's just like telling the taxpayer, okay, you buy the house, but we gonna live in it. That's unfair to our taxpayers, y'all, to tell them they got to pay, their tax dollars got to pay for a building that, they can't use. They already have to come second to a non-profit organization. They can't even use it unless the 4-H is not using it. I mean, that's quite a bit right there to me. Because, like I say, we the taxpayers pay for that building. Our tax dollars is invested into that building. And for us to say we can't use it, that's a slap in the face to me.
I mean, and on top, go ahead.
Go ahead, and I'll say what you all gonna say after you say.
Oh, I was just saying on top of that, we have some yearly events go on up there, you know, Mardi Gras, you know, every year. And we had never had a problem with those events in the inside. Say, Mr. Fuller.
I was gonna say, like Mr. Burris said, these are taxpayer buildings. These are not our buildings. We might be overseers of them, but again, at the end of the day, we work for the public. You can't stop, you have police, you can't stop crime. You can't stop shooting. They have shootings at church, they have shootings in the store, they have shootings everywhere. You can't stop that. I mean, and like I said, to penalize everybody because somebody, you know, brings a gun or an incident happen. No, you don't shut down churches because shooting goes in the church. You don't shut down, if somebody brought a gun in here, you can shut down having meetings here anymore? No. So that's why I say, we gotta look at, like I said, I don't condone the shooting. It's wrong all day long.
Yep.
But again, you can't stop that. You can't police that. You can have a family reunion. Still can be trouble. I don't care what kind of event. 4-H can have event up there, it can still be trouble. Are you gonna close it down again because they have it then? No. I mean, let's be realistic here. You know, you can't, just because trouble happens, you can't just start shutting down everything because trouble happens.
Any more discussion, Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Jones?
President. Mr. Norton, I had asked you, I think we were supposed to have the discussion at the last meeting.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted the security guard, whoever did security, to be present. Was he present at the last meeting?
Yes, sir.
He's not present this time.
No, sir.
And I wanted to ask him, you know, have they ever had any trouble as far as shootings or whatever happened at any event that's been going on at that center? Have they ever had one? Anybody ever heard of one? Now, if it's just somebody who just want to shut down something because other people use it, or it is for a specific reason. If it was to protect the public, then it doesn't need it, because it never happened. And the first time something happens, somebody want to shut down something, that you know, what's the reason for shutting it down? Because you don't want certain people to use it. Well, let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is.
And it doesn't justify closing down or stopping people having events there because of something that's happened. Like Mr. Fuller said, shooting happen all the time. We had a presidential candidate at one of his rallies. Hell, they had a shooting there. Did he stop having rallies? I think he had one last week.
Thank you.
Come on, man, let's be real, and let's stop all of this, man. We gotta stop all this separation and stuff. Because of certain people do this and certain people that it happened there, and then let's shut it down. We gotta stop that. So we better than that.
I'll take a stab at it. So, you know, give my personal opinion on this subject. Yeah, the taxpayers pay for the 4-H building, but we're supposed to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. And we're supposed to protect their money and the buildings, and I don't think we're supposed to be in the rental business at all.
Get them for free.
We give this out for free. We're taking private business away from our citizens in DeSoto Parish. I think that building should only be used for 4-H, agriculture, and schools. We're opening ourselves up to liability issues when we have these big parties out there serving alcohol, okay? But if that is too extreme of a solution for the jury, I would at least want to see this. No alcohol, no smoking, require the DeSoto Parish Sheriff's Office to be security and no use of land outside. That's my take on it.
Let me say this. Let me just put it to you, cause see, I'm one of them people that rents the 4-H building. And I rent inside and out. We ain't never, ever had a problem. And I'll let you just name, we ain't had no problem like that. And the good shouldn't keep have to suffer for the bad. That could happen anywhere. It just happened in Manning a week ago. I mean, they going to schools shooting up the whole schools. But I don't see the schools closing. That's just the excuse. I'm gonna have to be with Mr. Jones. Go and say it is what it is. Y'all want certain people not to be able to use that building. Let's just call it as it is, because that's the truth. And it's been that way, and we now already changed the whole rules. You got to go through an act of Congress right now for certain folks to use it in the first place. I mean, come on, y'all. Let's be honest about it. Y'all need to quit. You really do. You need to quit because it sticks out like a sore thumb. Don't you think people can't see what's going on? I mean, let people have repasses. It's all kind of stuff. And for us renting the building, if it's just for the 4-H and stuff, well, that don't let the taxpayer foot the bill. How about that? We just come out from under the building and give it back to the 4-H. Now, I go for that. But ask these taxpayers to keep this building up and invest all this money we've been investing in it and say they can't use it. No, siree. I will not go for that.
Are you finished, Ms. Barrett? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes hadn't spoken yet.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Latham about being in the rental business. Of course, y'all all know how I felt about that. I didn't agree with taking over the Callista Calhoun building just for that fact. We're not supposed to be competing with our private citizens who have event centers, and that's what we're doing. As far as answering Mr. Jones is concerned that we're just trying to eliminate certain ones from having it, that's not the reason for it. If I'm not mistaken, we've had a lot of damage to the inside of that building also. And this last time, there was a lot of damage also. So it seems like when the 4-Hers have something, they don't tear their own building up. But this has been happening now for quite some time. And just the shooting is not the only thing. So that's my reason for it. And as far as trying to let's call it what it is, well, I'll call it what it is. It's just the fact that it's being torn up every time it gets rented out. So that's what I'm calling it as. So go ahead now, Mr. Jones.
Okay. Even when it's used for what it's designed for, 4-H, you say. And haven't there been some shooting, some walls damaged from the shootings on it?
Got bullet holes in the wall up there right now.
And another point, doesn't LSU have a office in that particular building? What do they use it for? Should we shut them out as well? LSU? Should we shut them out?
We've always furnished them a place.
Do we? Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
And we
but
moved
now,
them
but
from
it's not what it. That's not what it's.
We
That's
moved them
not what
from the
it's for,
building they
was
were
it?
at over where the Registrar of Voters is now, and that's where they moved to. So that's the building we furnished for them.
But they still have an office over there, right? They still utilize an office over there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do we stop them from using that office?
No.
It's not what it's designed for. I mean, don't go. We shouldn't go raising a horn or rattling around because of some event that happened once. That's the first time I ever heard of anybody being shots being fired and outside of the building. So no personnel inside was in danger. I wish I had the guard here because I want to know how many events did he serves as the guard, and how many incidents have you had? So I had no point in calling for us to stop the use of it or even raise this issue yet.
Okay, Ms. Simpson?
Okay, so basically, the incident happened on the outside of the grounds? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Legal, I'm coming to you. By us being the overseer of this building, and we're renting it out, and this happened, are we liable for this individual or someone to come back to sue us in regards to this incident here?
Not a first incident generally as a landlord. There is a line of cases that says that once an event has occurred that, or certain factors or indications happen that you look at, that there is possible liability on a landlord for failure to take actions or certain precautions after an event or events have occurred. So, for instance, if a shopping center is open very late at night and there has been assaults of individuals, there has been liability where they've failed to have security guards or adequate lighting or adjust their hours or things. So with the law, obviously things are very fact-specific, but there is a possibility at future events, if there were other actions and you took no steps whatsoever, that a trier of fact could find that you were remiss in your duty to take actions to try to address things. Now, what exact actions you would have to take, would be up for debate. But to say this could never lead to a conclusion that you could have liability would be an untrue or inaccurate statement.
Okay, so basically what I'm hearing is we do nothing and it happens again, possibly, some possible, if we don't do anything here, make some type of suggestions or something.
Correct. There could
Something in
be
place.
There could be an argument that you had fair warning that this was a problem and took no actions to try to remedy it. Whether anybody would find liability on a single action or not, I can't predict what a jury or a judge would rule. But they look at the history of the property and, what would be sort of, for lack of a better word, fair warning to try to address things. And so that would be, they would look at, did you change rental hours, alcohol policy, security policy? I mean, something.
First of all, we not renting it out. That's the first thing, because if you're a citizen of DeSoto Parish, you do not have to rent the building. The building is free. You rent the table and chairs if you want to, or you can rent them from somewhere else. But the citizens of this parish do not rent the building. It's absolutely free. We did that a while back when I first became a police jury, because I the one presented the thing, because I felt like if that's double taxing the taxpayer. Why they have to pay for a building that they already own? And it's a lot of the taxpayers got a problem with it, and they watching to see what we gonna do concerning this. Cause like I say, it is what it is. No matter what y'all say, what y'all vote, it ain't fair to the taxpayer. It's not.
Okay, Mr. Fuller?
I was gonna say, it's not like we're not doing that. We make sure security is there.
I understand
Oh,
that. Security was there. I don't have a problem with that.
that's
I'm
it. That's
just,
what I say.
basically what I was trying to
Mr.
find
Fuller's
out was
talking.
what was
I
our.
think Mr. Fuller had the floor.
No, but I understand he has the floor, but I
No,
want
it-
him to
it's your
understand
manner.
what I was saying.
You're a man to be butting into him. Do your
You
speak,
butting
Mr.
in.
Fuller.
Ms. Simpson, Mr. Fuller, continue.
Thank you. But I was just saying, we do have security, so it's not like we're not doing our part. We're just, y'all go up there and do what you want to do. We have guidelines in place. We have things in place for it. And I can understand, you can still have liability later on. I understand that. But it's not like that we're not doing, and I'm not saying that's what you were saying. It's not like we're not doing anything. We are doing something. We are putting policies in place to make sure it's safe as we can. But again, you can have that in place all day long and still can't stop stuff from happening.
And this incident actually happened like 50 or 60 yards away from the building, more closer to the baseball park in the field.
Oh, so we got to close that down?
Oh, Miss Trina.
Oh, no, but as I was saying, thank you for acknowledging that what I was saying, what you were saying that I was saying. I wasn't saying that there was no security there. I understand we have security there. My question was to legal. I just wanted to know how far into this, as far as for us being liable. We say we're liable, we don't want guns on certain properties, we're liable for that. My concern is I just want to know how much we're liable. Do I agree with Mr. Holmes? No. But at the same time, I want to know how much are we liable, because the people are the ones that's going to have to pay this bill if we end up getting sued, if we don't make some adjustments. That's what I was saying.
They pay $1 million.
Miss Burrell, Miss Jones.
All you can do is plan.
True.
And try to put things in places to stop incidents like that. Do they work all the time? Probably not. Like I said, a lot of schools, they have deputies and security guards. Do that stop them from having shootings? No, it don't. We had some deputies, I think that was over in Texas, where all of them stood outside, scared to go in, and little kids got shot up. What, the school, who was responsible for that? Was the school board responsible for that, or who was responsible for that? All you can do is try to put things in places that would prevent that, or that would deter that. I mean, things gonna happen, and you can't stop things from happening. I don't care no matter how you plan, how many of you, because that element is out there.
And
Hold on, Miss Burrell. Mr. Layton had his hand up. You next.
So there are things in place, and I think they're in place for good reason, with good intentions, but they have holes in them. If they didn't have holes in them, this wouldn't have happened. Okay, I cannot vote for this motion that's on the floor, because yes, it happened outside, but where did it brew? It brewed from inside.
No.
We don't know.
No.
Where'd the argument come from? It came from.
It was the individuals that were outside.
But they wouldn't have been there if it. They wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for the party, right?
They wouldn't have.
Come on, give me a break. You guys give me a break.
It's on outside.
You come here
So
with this.
there's no one that's gonna convince me that these people weren't there because of the party that was at the 4-H building.
I mean,
If you don't change, if you don't change the rules, if you don't change the rules that are in place, it's gonna happen again.
What rules you gonna change?
Am I done? Now you interrupted me.
Hold on.
Now you interrupted
let
me.
Finish. Let me finish.
If we don't change that you can't have alcohol, right, and you can't have DeSoto Parish security there, we're gonna have something worse happen. Somebody might die. The security that we have now is private security. When there's fights at these parties, what do? They call the sheriff's department. So that's doing nothing.
Okay. Well,
I can't vote for that motion on the floor right now if it doesn't have those things
I
in
had
it.
6 sheriff
Hey, Mr.
deputies, DeSoto Parish deputies, 6.
Call for a vote.
And I had a shooting. I had 6 of the DeSoto Parish finest. They was there. But yet, somebody came from out, paid their money, came straight in there, shot a young man, and left straight out. So don't sit here and tell me if we got DeSoto Parish, it ain't gonna happen. They ain't miracle workers. They can't do but so much. And I didn't expect them to do but so much. So I don't even want to hear that scenario. I know because it happened to me.
Okay, if there's no more questions, let's vote on this alternate motion. two remaining, or one remaining. Motion passes.
So, this is what I'm trying to understand.
It's,
So, what's passed, so,
the motion passes.
so they won't have, now let them go and say what it is, Rodriguez, cause this is what it is. If you don't have it outside, that means you cut out the trail rider. But these good clubs, so y'all telling us y'all gonna discriminate against them, cause that's all it is, discrimination. And that's what you're doing, you cutting out the trail riders, and all these trail riders ain't no bad people. All trail riders ain't no bad places. So that's exactly what you did. I just want to have it on the record and tell the people so the people don't understand what has taken place. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this racism. I'm sick of all this that we do. It's really sad. It is. It's really sad.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Burrell. We're gonna move on to item number 6.
I'd like to say a word. I'm sick of being called racism.
You
I'm
are
sick-
racist.
I'm sick of us having to repair things every time we rent the building out. That's our taxpayer dollars also being spent.
Hold on, that subject is gone, it's done, we to the next. Number 6, accept the resignation of Darwin Spillway and appoint Taylor Ramley to the Planning Commission, serving the remaining term expires 2027, deferred from June meeting.
Make a motion.
I got a motion by Mr. Holmes,
Second.
a second by Ms. Simpson. Any discussion? There's no discussion, would you please vote? One remaining, that might take her off the books. Thank you. Motion passes. Item number 7, award low bid for articulated truck for the solid waste.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Baker, Ms. Simpson. Any discussion? There's no discussion, please vote. Motion passes. Item number 8, authorize the president to sign amendment resolution from Beta Land Service LLC, original resolution adopted on July 15th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Holmes, second by Mr. Raines. Any discussion? There's no discussion, please vote on this item. Motion passes. Number 9, award low bid for the 2020 ADA facility modifications. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Got a motion by Mrs. Simpson,
Second.
second by Mr. Clark. Discussion? There's no discussion, please vote. Item passes. Item 10, award low bid for DeSoto Parish Police Jury drainage and improvements on US Highway 171 South Industrial Park, CSJ Drive. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
A motion by Mrs. Simpson,
Second.
second by Mr. Clark.
Discussion.
Discussion?
171 South. Can you
Yes, south.
get a little bit more information?
Probably half a mile past Billy B's to the right.
That's what I'm asking. Okay. That's what I thought that's what it was. Okay, which is my area. Okay. Mine and yours, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Did we already spend quite a bit of money getting this project?
yes, we have.
So
Planning.
we've already started on it? We've spent some money on it
Yes.
already? Approximately how much?
Approximately how much, Michael? Engineer fees.
And probably $20,000 to $30,000 range at least.
And this
like to
is in
see.
a,
That's
oh.
just raw numbers, that's not labor or expenses and salaries and so
Right.
forth.
Mr. Holmes?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I'm really against this project. It was brought up in 2020, and the way it was done, it's just like it kind of went backwards from what it should have done. It was brought up in 2020 to be accepted into the parish road system, and I need to apologize to all of our citizens because I voted for that. At the time, I was new on the jury, and I didn't know what all was going on, but this road was brought into the system. It should never have been brought into the system, and it was brought in by people that were here at the time just for this. Brought in back through the back door and okayed so that it could be done and paved and made somebody an industrial park. I still feel like anybody that's doing industrial parks or developments need to be treated just like any other developer in this parish. They need to take their road, fix their road, bring it to the standards that we expect them to bring it to, and then we'll accept them into the system. This road should never have been accepted into the system until it was brought up to the standard. And I'm against this whole thing. I know we may have $20,000 or $30,000 in it, but that's a long ways from $443,000 that we're gonna have into it to benefit one person and one industrial park that somebody's developing. So I vote no against this. I'm against it all the way.
Actually, I think this was a pair of industrial park, with this one and the one up by the relay station. I thought when they first came in 20, they came in together, I thought.
No, it was this one and the one that we voted down the other day, a month or two. Martinez. And we voted that one down.
So is this one similar to the Martinez one?
No, it's different.
I got a question. If this was approved by the jury in 2020, are we obligated to move forward and award a bid, or can you take it off? I guess that's a legal question.
I would say that I would have enough legal concern about that I would need to specifically research the issue. Because you can have reliance issues and whether they've put money into it and things like that. As you remember, Bossier had the famous curb cut where they had promised a developer a curb cut, which then they backed out on and then faced a multi-million-dollar judgment to remedy the situation. So there can be reliance issues on approved projects if you back out on them. So I'd have to have more specifics about exactly what the actions of the prior jury were and what type of reliance was made on the decisions already approved by the jury.
So can I make an alternate motion to defer? Can we defer? Till she gets, we can't?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't?
Go ahead.
No,
We can't?
the ball is rolling on this.
Oh, God.
Help us out, Mike.
Yes, help us out.
This was approved 2020, 2021, 2023, and 2024.
Right.
Okay.
And it's too late to back out at this point.
Okay.
Probably, there might be a small legal wiggle room that you could back out on it, but we've already obligated. We're in the court with a contractor at this point. It'd be a black eye on the parish to back out at this point. I might agree with some that this may not be the best project on the books and so forth, but it's too late. We've gone too far. It'd be a black eye on the parish to back out, and possible legal obligation to back out at this point.
Thank you.
Michael, I know you weren't the engineer in 2020,
I wasn't even.
but moving forward, I'm assuming we're gonna inspect all the roads before we take them over, as the engineering department would.
I don't, this one was taken in with the expectation that we have to improve it. I don't think that was ever part of the discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Well, that's a yes.
If there's no more discussion, please vote.
No, I have no choice. I ain't trying to pay out no extra money for legal fees.
Make that 6:30 mark. Motion passes. New business. Authorize the president to execute a resolution authorizing the filling of an application with the LADOTD for a grant for 49C FR 5311, formula grant for rural areas, 49F CFR 5339, grant for bus and bus facility program, and 49 CFR 5310, formula grants for the enhanced mobility and of seniors and individuals with disability,
So moved.
COA.
Jesus.
So moved.
I got a motion by Mr.
Second
Fuller.
for discussion.
Second, Ms. Simpson.
Can I get the Cliff Note?
Discussion.
Can I get the Cliff Note version of this?
Mr. Norton.
The DeSoto Council on Aging is applying for a grant, and we just have to approve it. They get-
Okay.
Yeah, they get all the money for this.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Took all that to say that.
Woo! Give me the Cliff Note.
I think all legal put that on her like that.
Oh, okay. Whew.
They want to pay for the word.
Okay, thank you.
If there's no more discussion, please vote.
Applying for a grant.
Where is my thing to vote?
Oh,
Who?
I'm sorry.
I ain't got my thing no more.
Oh.
Yeah, they done cut me off from voting.
It went flying somewhere. I'm gonna shut up.
So, up until you find it, where will be your vote verbally?
Yes.
Okay.
Here it is.
Motion passes. Resolution. Recommend adopting the resolutions to declare funds in the 2025 budget for a 25% match of the Louisiana DOTD Dam Safety Program Fund for the project construction costs to repair and or replace Smith Polk Clear Lake Dam. I got a motion made by Mr. Lathan.
Second.
Second by Mr. Jones. Discussion.
Would, think, Michael, are you working with some people to see if there's any grants we could get for this? Would
Yeah,
we be better to defer
I've
this
made,
maybe till next month or something, to see if any of that would come into fruition?
I've made a request from NLCOG, North Louisiana Council of Governments, to seek some funding to assist with this, since the jury's not obligated to do this. I mean, y'all can still vote to do this, but you're not obligated, because we don't own the dam out there. It's all within wildlife and fisheries, but I would say just deferring it to next month is not gonna be enough time. It moves very slow when you're looking for money like that, but I have made inquiries.
Okay. There's no more discussion, please.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes, I have discussion. I don't think we should grant this $725,000 to them for that. This, like Ms. McKay said earlier, this dam and this Clear Lake, it belongs to the Wildlife and Fisheries. They've taken it over. They should keep it up. I don't think we need to obligate any money for it. We're not legally obligated, and I don't think we need to spend $725,000 of our own money that we need here in the parish for that.
How come? Why not? We spend on other stuff. I can't see why we don't spend it for the dam. It's a lot of people go to that dam and fish and carry on. That's our lake. That lake in DeSoto Parish is ours. And I think we should. It belongs to the constituents of DeSoto Parish. They took it over, yes, we need to be, going back to the same thing I just said. It's good. Some things good. We can spend money some places, but then when it comes to other places, it's a no-go.
Where's this money coming from, Mr. Norton?
It would have to come out of the general fund.
I don't think so. We do gotta take enough stuff the state put out, man. State kinda need to take care of the state.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, please vote.
I have a
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Jones, you said this is state?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there a time limit on doing this? Moses?
It's been lingering for quite some time already, so I don't think there's no time limit, is it?
we're trying to make these repairs.
Yeah.
They need it.
Actually, any of the work would be done by DOTD. We wouldn't be involved at all. They would even let the project.
So we're
We would just give them,
Let's give them
if y'all voted in favor of this, we would just be paying them $725,000 to get the work done.
do we have any homes or anywhere that anyone live around this, that if it's not repaired, that, you know, flooding, damaging?
Downstream from that, I'm sure there are some, but
Okay, thank you.
honestly, I don't know
Okay.
the graphics.
But, Johnson,
Yes, sir.
actually, it's been like that for years. It's been flooding down there for years. I mean, like Mr. Perez said, but people still do fish down there now, still. So I'm just trying to see, you know, that's a lot of money. I mean, if we don't repair, what happens then?
Well, if there's a big concern on flooding, I would think the state would come up with all the money. I wouldn't think they'd be coming to us for $750,000. If there was a big concern about flooding downstream or anything else, they wouldn't be dependent on our $725,000 to fix it.
That thing been like that for.
The state don't even take care of the road going to it. You know, we in a take care of that for them. So it's time the state takes its own responsibility. They don't even take care of the road leading to that dam.
Thank you.
There's no more discussion. Please vote. Got 2 remaining. Motion failed. Number 13, authorize the president to sign a resolution ordering and calling a special election to be held in the parish of DeSoto, state of Louisiana, to authorize the rededication of a sales tax and use tax therein, make an application to the State Bonding Commission, and providing for other matters in connection with therewith. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
I got a motion. Mr. Holmes,
Second.
second by Mr. Baker. Hadn't said nothing all night. Got your name. Mr. Baker, any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
It's some discussion. Mr. Norton, just break this right down to me. I really want to understand what this saying.
This is, y'all called for a tax rededication in February, I believe, to rededicate a portion of the taxes that are collected, sales taxes that are collected, that go to the library, to be redirected to the general fund for hang on one moment. I want to make sure I have the right language.
Oh, I understand. I just want to make sure that's what it was.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And it's approximately, of the 25%, 0.25% of the 1% the jury is authorized to collect, that goes to the library. This will change that to 0.15% goes to the library and 0.10% will go to the general fund.
You know what? I just hate deception. I just believe in telling the people what the truth is. So y'all want us to redo this, but you want to take part of the money from the library and put it in the general fund. That way y'all can do what y'all want to do with the other portion, right?
When you say y'all, I'm not part of the y'all. That's y'all.
But we can do what we
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to do.
Let's just be very specific. Words matter. As a public official, words matter.
You're the parish administrator.
I agree, but I don't have a vote in this. I have no dog in this.
You put it together.
No, I did not put this together. Foley and Judell put this together.
Either way or the other, tell the people what the truth. We want to take a portion of the library money that y'all passed the last time for the libraries and put it in general fund. That's what we doing. The people need to understand that.
And it's supposed to go towards helping or fixing the roads. I think that's what the whole idea was.
And that need to be in that language, because I don't want to go to fix the jail.
No, but
see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wanted to specify what it's gonna be used for, Cause we got it bad passing the tax for one thing and doing something else. So I just wanna make sure I had the people's back.
Yeah, that was my understanding. Mr. Fuller?
Yeah, because that's my concern. I'm like, why are we taking from the library fund? I mean, if that's what we voted, the people voted for those taxes to go for, why are we changing that after they done voted for that?
We're not changing anything, we're gonna send it back to them again to let them decide.
Right. It's still the same thing.
For election, a special election.
I know, but, I mean, it's still the same thing. I know you're gonna send it back to them, but if that's what the people wanted to vote for that in the beginning, they would have.
So why are we sitting there?
Any more questions? There's no more question, please vote.
So we gonna send it back to them.
But basically, this is just having an election, right? Having the election on.
Put it before the people.
So they can take for the library money and put it in the general fund.
But it'll be the public that's voting on it, right?
That's voting on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Public
just
vote
wanna
on it.
make, I said that because I want the public to understand what's really truly happening
Public
here.
is gonna
I'm
vote. We
sick
gonna
of
send it
deception.
back for the public to vote on it.
No.
And they probably gonna vote it down.
One remaining. Motion passes. Administrative item, please.
Administrative items. Number 15 recommends adopting the most current edition of the State Uniform Construction Code.
We'll have a motion.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Baker,
Second.
second by Mr. Clark. Discussion. There's no discussion, please vote.
Ms. Burrell?
I'm thinking.
Item
Motion
number
passed.
16,
Sorry.
recommends authorizing the sale of the property located at Liberty Lane classified as lots number 1 and 2 as listed in the attached appraisal for the sum of $158,000 to the sheriff, and authorize the administrator to sign all necessary documents of the sale with the funds to be dedicated to the jail fund.
Make the motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Layton, second by Mr. Raines. Discussion. There's no discussion, please vote. Motion passes.
Item number 17, recommends appointing Kirk Lee to the Bayou Pier Game and Fish Commission.
Got a motion by Mr. Raines, second by Mr. Jones. Discussion.
Yeah, is this the one we supposed to be making, where we had Latoya, Tasha Shelton on there?
No.
That was the first one? So this another one that we didn't know about?
Yeah, this is the same one, on the Bayou Pierre. The gentleman was in here last committee meeting.
Yeah, he was here on committee.
Okay. I just want to say again, when these boards coming up, every jury in here should know it's an opening. Just in case we wanna add somebody to one of the boards. We don't know until it hit this agenda. And that's a shame. I mean, come on, y'all, and then y'all wonder why I say what I say. We don't know it. We don't know it till we reading it on this agenda that it was even an opening. And I wanna know.
Well, this particular item here, Mr. Red, been out there about 4 years.
I don't care. How long it's been out there, Mr. Ross? It just come up on this agenda now. Know what I'm saying? And it's disrespectful to the jury that's his district. Because he should have been one of the first to know that it's an opening in his district on the commission. Y'all think I be fussing, but I be fussing for good reason. Just do right, and y'all won't have to hear my mouth.
Got 2 remaining.
Ms. Burrell and Mr. Fuller.
Hit it again.
Motion passes. Budget and finance.
Budget and Finance recommends amending the general fund budget in the amount of $1,000 and authorize the president to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with DeSoto Parish Bible Charity School doing business as KCS Community Center.
Right on there. You gonna shed some light on it?
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Got a motion by Ms. Simpson.
You ain't gonna tell them what to do.
Do I have a second
I told him no.
on the
second it.
KCS Community Center?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Baker. Discussion? There's no discussion, please vote. Motion passes. A road item.
Road items, I'm sorry. Discuss and take action regarding speed bumps on Red Bluff Road.
I'll make a motion, we take up all the speed bumps off of Red Bluff Road.
Second.
I got a motion, we take up all the speed bumps on Red Bluff Road. Got a second by Mr. Raines.
And the deaf child signs of that family has moved. There's no longer a
Okay,
hearing impaired child.
okay. In the motion, the deaf child.
I have a question.
For discussion, Mr.
Yeah.
Fuller.
First of all, this is my area too, my road too.
One side is, the other side mine.
I understand, that's why I said mine's too.
Okay.
You could've gave me a call about that. Like I said, even though the young man left.
I didn't make
You
the
put it on the
motion.
agenda. It's on the agenda, on your department.
Oh, okay.
Common courtesy, decency, you know that kind of stuff, it does exist.
Mr. Fuller, after this meeting, I'll get your number and we'll do
Again.
that.
The young man, the new owners moved in, they have an issue with their child. So again, common courtesy. Yes, the other person moved, because, you know, even though they had the speed bumps up, big trucks ran off the road and went through his yard.
Some things we just can't control, Mr. Fuller.
Sir?
Some things we just cannot control.
Okay, again, but you can slow, that speed bump will slow them down.
He did.
I mean, if y'all don't care about life, you worried about a car.
Mr. Fuller, I get calls every day about
I have the
that.
floor right now. You have a car versus a life. That's what we worry more about, vehicles. When they need to be going slow right in front of residential areas anyway, for real.
You ain't worried about a bullet?
No.
Okay, let's,
ain't worried about it.
Didn't I say that too?
Order.
Sir?
You ain't worried about a bullet, are you?
Order.
He did share his race
Let's
today.
talk
Oh,
about
you
what's on the
almost made me
agenda.
tell you something.
We're on the item on the Red Bluff Road. Mr.
I'm a
Holmes?
little better than that.
Yes,
I'm a
was
little
this
better
item on the agenda 2 weeks ago for the committee meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Then, Mr. Fuller, did you have a chance to call
I was out of
Mr. Raines
town.
about it?
I was out of town.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Okay.
Yes, I was out of town.
But I knew it was on there 2
Okay,
weeks
I
ago.
I said,
And I was
talking to
out of
him.
town.
He was the chairperson. He could have contacted me.
I'm not the chairperson. Mr. Ernell's the chair.
Regardless. You're the other, I apologize for saying that. You're the other juror that shares that part with me. Common courtesy, again.
Oh, no, Miss.
I'm gonna say on that, common courtesy.
You was out down for 2 weeks? Couldn't reach email?
Cause let me tell you,
I call the question for the vote on this order.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Mr. Layton, Mr.
Well, it should
Fuller.
have been.
I mean, we all read our emails. I was out of town too, but I got the agenda.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Would you please vote?
I will.
What's the motion? You on food red round.
I care about my constituents.
You don't care about
Yeah,
your emails,
needs.
though, do you?
Man, you better come, you be quiet.
Got two remaining.
Two remaining.
I'm trying to be good.
Ms. Simpson,
I had,
please vote.
You got some praying for.
Trying to be good, cuz.
Motion passes.
Next item, recommend updating the parish transportation fund list.
So move. Got a motion,
Second.
Rodriguez.
No,
A
second.
second by Mr. Jones. Discussion. There's no discussion, please vote on this item. Motion passes.
Okay, next item, recommends amending the road budget in the amount of $300,000 for emergency culvert replacement on Barnes Road.
So moved. Rodriguez made the motion, Mr. Raines seconded. Discussion.
What is it?
This is, south 171, just right at Benson. To the right, to the left be what, 346, I believe?
Oh, it's only about a couple hundred yards off from Highway 171.
Yeah, 171, but she
Yes,
was
sir.
trying to locate the area, so she.
Yeah,
I mean,
south,
I know where
it's in your district, I believe.
Right.
I know where it's at now, you didn't need.
When the storms came, it blew out the cover that was there.
oh, okay.
I know where you talking about.
Okay. There's no more discussion, please vote. Motion passes.
Okay, recommends authorizing president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement with the town of Stonewall for installation of culverts located on Lewing Lane and Turner Street.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Baker,
Second.
second by Ms. Simpson. Discussion.
Mr. President, I want to just make a little change on there. Mr. Ernell, if you would, the Lewing Lane is actually, it's going to be a culvert that's off of Brian David, because Lewing Lane is a private drive. That was a discussion last time, if you remember. So the culvert is actually on Brian David for Lewing Lane in that general area. And the Tanner Street, the guy lives at the corner of Tanner Street, but he actually, the culvert will be installed on Kenny Lane. So if you can make that part of your motion so we can make it consistent with the CEA, I would appreciate that.
Okay. I'll make it part of my motion.
Thank you. Hey, would you please vote if no more discussion? Motion passes.
Our final item that the road committee took up was recommends authorizing the E911 renaming of Butler Private Drive to Falcon Private Drive. It runs east off of Red Strong Road. Only one structure on the drive.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Raines. Do I have a second? Do he have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Simpson. Up for discussion.
Just
That's
rename.
the road them people was here for.
Ma'am.
Is that the same road them people came?
Oh, no, that was Wilson.
This is,
That was
I
Wilson.
think a family bought a house on this road and renaming their road. It's in my district off of Redstone.
There's no more discussion, please vote.
Just the driveway that's out there.
So they're just straight part of it.
Oh, it is.
Mhm.
I hit it one time. Hit it again.
You gotta hold it up.
Motion passes.
You need some back.
Solid waste.
I know, right?
I will change that out of this meeting.
Thank you.
Solid Waste recommends authorizing the transfer of $1 million from the Solid Waste Fund to the CD at Community Bank of Louisiana to cover the new estimated cost for closure, post-closure at the landfill, and authorize the president to sign amendment number 9 of the standby trust agreement with Community Bank of Louisiana for closure, post-closure of the Mundy landfill pursuant to LDEQ requirements.
So move.
Second.
I got a motion by Mr. Jones and Mr. Fuller, and seconded by Ms. Burrell. Up for discussion? There's no discussion, please vote.
Hit it again, Mr. Fuller.
I know you joking. I'll do it again.
There you go.
Thank you.
Motion passes. Item, go ahead.
Solid Waste recommends amending the regulations on out-of-parish permits for compactor sites to read: if you own property or live in the parish and you don't have a Louisiana license plate, you can obtain a permit at no cost.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion made by Ms. Simpson, second by Mr. Raines. Discussion? There's no discussion on this item, please vote.
It's your.
You did it. Mr. Holmes and Mr. Jones. There we go.
Motion passes. A motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Clark, second by Ms. Simpson. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We'll adjourn from the regular meeting. And I call a special meeting to order. We're gonna run right down to any guests and public comments on the special meeting. If there's none. Any addition or deletion to the special meeting? There's none. New business. Executive session in compliance with Louisiana Revised Statute 4217 to strategize session of negotiation in respect to collective bargaining, respective litigation after formal written demand, or litigation when the open meeting would have a dramatic effect on the bargaining or litigation position in the public body. Notice of executive session. DeSoto Parish Police Jury is providing notice pursuant to the Louisiana Revised Statute 4217 that it will be convened for an executive session as authorized by Louisiana Revised Statute 4217A2, that it intends to enter into the session for the purpose of discussion of lawsuit filed by David B. Means et al. Against the DeSoto Parish Police Jury, United States District Court, Western District of Louisiana, Shreveport Division, civil action number 5-23-CV00669. The discussion in the executive session will limit to the matters exempt from the opening meeting requirements set forth in Louisiana law. No final or binding action will be taken during this executive session. Do I have a motion to go in executive session?
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Jones,
Yeah.
second by Ms. Burrell. We're going in executive session. Everyone, we'll be right back. Yeah.
That's a
For
wrap,
a
man.
while.
got enough to adjourn.
1, 2, 3, yeah. Oh, we had.
This'll be the majority. We'll,
I
we
ain't
vote
gonna
to
even sit
adjourn.
down.
Right.
Come on.
There's Jody here.
Hey, y'all need me? I'm here.
Yeah,
Have to have a,
yeah, we
Have to
got a
press the
motion to
button for this.
reconvene.
Second,
Got a motion to reconvene.
second.
first.
I got a second, Mr. Fuller. We convene. So,
Who did we adjourn?
Motion we adjourn.
and now we're adjourning. I got a motion by Mr. Holmes, second by everybody.
Yeah.
We adjourn. Good night.
They said so moved.
Oh, I need this.
First. I don't know.
Oh, Ernell.
We'll see y'all later.
Oh,